Kindergarten, now that we have looked at some real cute little owls, now you are going to make your own owl today. And what we're going to be using today are two different types of things in art. One of them is called collage. Collage is where you put things together to make a picture. And we're also going to be using texture. Remember, texture is the way something feels or something looks. So our first step today, I have already written your name on the back. I'm going to write my name on this. Your name, make sure that you can't see it, so you're going to flip your paper over and work on the other side. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put some little stars in the sky with a white crayon. Just dots. They're tiny dots. These are stars. And your owl is going to cover up a lot of it, so you want them towards the top of the page and then maybe down towards the bottom because he's in a tree right now. That's where we're going to put our little owl. So I want some towards the edge as well. Okay, so I have dotted my paper with stars. You are going to use a pencil and you're going to make the shape of your owl. Now we just did this with our cowboy pigs. If you were in my class, this is going to be the shape of our little owl. So I'm going to put my plate down and trace it. And I have on here, you can see the pencil line where the outline of that circle is. That's where I'm going to work inside for my owl. Now your owl leaves have texture on them. So the way that we're going to make texture is by using ripped paper. So I've already ripped some to begin with into little squares. Actually, I'm going to rip this one in half again. And you see these rough edges right there? That has texture on it. It's going to help our owls look like owls. Easiest way to rip paper, here it is. Put your fingers at the top together, at the top and bottom, and then twist your hands one way and the other way to make small pieces of torn paper. All right, so I'm going to take my fingers, put them at the top, and then bring one to the front, one to the back, and that's the easiest way to tear paper. Here we go. So now I've got a pile of torn paper that I'm going to use. And I'm using two different colors so I have a variety in his feathers. When we looked at owls, when we saw those owls, they had variety. So the easiest way to do this, and so it goes a little bit faster, is I'm going to put on some dots of glue all around my owl. Notice that I am not putting on like a whole bunch. Kind of looks like a whole bunch, doesn't it? But I'm putting on dots because this is where my feathers are going to go. So when I have this down, then it's real easy to start on here and start putting down my pieces. So I'm going to speed up the video while I put on my pieces. All right, kindergarten, when you've got it this far, you're going to look and see where do I still have some blue places, and then you want to cover those up because our owls don't have holes in them, so they need to have all of their little places covered up if you can. Now you're still going to put on eyes and a nose and legs, so you have those to cover up, to help you cover up as well. But if you have big holes, you want to cover them up because our owls don't have holes. They are solid figures. Let's see, let me put some up here. And then I put two pieces at the top kind of going off to make ears for him. So this is pretty good. I have a couple little blue places. Maybe I can move my pieces a little bit to cover. If not, I'm not going to worry too much. Okay, so now when you've got it this far, I'm going to show you a sneaky way to make two eyes at once. You have these little circles that you can trace today for eyes, and then there's a folded piece of paper. Watch this. I'm going to take this and I'm going to trace it for my eye. So I'm going to come around and I'm going to trace it. So I've got a circle right here. Now my paper's folded. Leave it folded. And you are going to take scissors. And what you're going to do is cut out on this line, you're going to cut both eyes at one time. So go slow. And I'm going a little bit around the outside of the eye, and that's okay. You can do that too. But you don't want your eyes smaller than this. Then, when you're done, because your paper was folded, you have two eyes. See my pencil lines here? That's the side I'm going to put glue on. So when I put it on my owl, you don't see my pencil lines anymore. I'm going to put a dot on the back of each eye. There's one. And the other. Okay, so there are my eyes. You're going to get a square of orange, and you are going to fold it not top to bottom, but corner to corner, so it makes a triangle. When you do this, this will be his beak. Did you see that? So you're going to get a square, and you're going to fold it corner to corner to make a triangle, and then you have his little beak. Glue goes on the back of this as well. Okay, there we go. We're going to press it down. That will make it stay. All right, and then last but not least, you're going to get an orange piece for his legs. Now his little legs, you're going to cut some strips for his legs. So these will be his legs. And if they're too long, you can cut them shorter. You can put them, maybe you can slide them underneath his body to hide his legs, make it look like they're coming out from his feathers. And then the other thing you have are his toes. So I'm going to cut some pieces for his toes. So maybe like, let's see, 2, 3 pieces coming down. Now these are getting a little bit small, so be careful. And then I'm going to glue them down like this. Nope, that one flew away from me. Like that, like that. And if you put just a dot right on the back, and then put it down, tiny dots. We don't want glue everywhere. Tiny, tiny dots. Probably the smallest dots you've ever made. Then you're going to have his little toes. Let me cut those a little bit smaller. 1, 2, 3. Okay, I'm going to put dots right here. So 1 and 2 and 3. All right, so there is my little owl. Now he's missing eyeballs and he has nose holes. So you're gonna find a black, let me see if I can find a black crayon real quick. Let's see, there we go. So you're gonna find a black crayon and you're gonna give him a black for the inside of his eye. And since this is dry now, this should be okay to do. And then 2 little marks for his nose. So on here we have shape, we have texture, we have color, we have different values of brown. So we have lots of different things that we've worked on today in art with just this little thing. Oh, and we have collage, remember. So there's our little owl we're going to do.